Tonight we present
Dirac and the Secret of Antimatter. Cambridge, England, January 1935. The night was cold and dark, with a thick fog wrapping the cobblestone streets. In the heart of the University of Cambridge, the physics laboratory was dimly lit. Inside, Professor Paul Dirac, one of the brightest theoretical physicists of his time, worked tirelessly on an experiment that promised to revolutionize the understanding of antimatter. Suddenly, a blinding flash filled the room, followed by an eerie silence. When the light faded, Dirac had vanished without a trace. Dirac's laboratory was filled with advanced equipment for the time: oscilloscopes, particle generators, and a series of documents scattered across the tables. Dirac had been researching the properties of antimatter particles, a concept he had proposed years earlier. According to his theories, antimatter was a form of matter composed of particles that had the same mass as ordinary particles but opposite charges. This discovery had opened a new field in quantum physics, full of possibilities and dangers. The laboratory was located in an old building on campus, with stone walls and large windows that let in daylight. However, at night, the place took on an almost mystical atmosphere, with elongated shadows and the distant sound of pendulum clocks marking the passage of time. Dirac often worked late into the night, absorbed in his calculations and experiments, searching for answers to questions that few dared to ask. Dirac's disappearance did not go unnoticed. The next day, his assistant, the young physicist Alan Turing, found the laboratory in disarray. The equipment was out of place, and in the center of the room, where Dirac had been working, there was a strange burn mark on the floor. Turing, confused, began to review Dirac's papers, searching for any clues about what had happened. Among the papers, he found a journal with notes about a secret experiment related to the creation of antimatter particles. Turing was a brilliant young man, known for his work in mathematics and logic. He had been recruited by Dirac because of his ability to solve complex problems and his interest in theoretical physics. As he read Dirac's journal, Turing realized that his mentor had been working on something much bigger than he had imagined. The notes mentioned concepts such as quantum superposition, entanglement, and the possibility of parallel dimensions. As Turing delved deeper into Dirac's notes, he discovered references to a strange phenomenon: the appearance of particles that seemed to defy the known laws of physics. According to Dirac, these particles could exist in a state of superposition, meaning they could be in multiple places at once. Additionally, there were mentions of a quantum portal, a theory suggesting the possibility of traveling between parallel dimensions. Intrigued and concerned, Turing decided to continue Dirac's experiment to uncover the truth. Turing began assembling a small, trusted team made up of other young scientists and students from the university. Among them was Mary Cartwright, a talented mathematician with a particular interest in chaos theory, and John Cockcroft, an experimental physicist known for his ability to build and repair complex equipment. Together, they began reconstructing Dirac's experiment, following the detailed instructions in his journal. As they progressed, they started noticing strange phenomena in the lab. The equipment sometimes malfunctioned, and at times, the clocks appeared to stop for no apparent reason. One night, while working on the particle accelerator, Mary noticed a shadow moving in the corner of her eye, but when she turned, no one was there. These puzzling events only strengthened their determination to uncover the truth. One night, while Turing was working alone in the lab, replicating Dirac's experiments, something unexpected occurred. A flash of light similar to the one Dirac had witnessed filled the room. Turing felt a strange sense of disorientation, and when the light faded, he found himself in a completely different place. The laboratory had changed. The equipment was more advanced, and in a corner, he saw a man who resembled Dirac, but with an expression of awe and fear on his face. Before he could react, the light filled the room again, and Turing passed out. When Turing regained consciousness, he was back in the laboratory, but something had changed. Dirac's papers were scattered across the floor, and on one of the pages, there was a new note he hadn't seen before. The note read, "The portal is open. Antimatter is the key." Still dazed, Turing realized he had touched something far bigger than he had imagined. Dirac's disappearance, the strange phenomena, and the quantum portal were all connected, and now it was up to him and his team to uncover the truth. When Alan Turing regained consciousness, the laboratory was silent. The newly discovered note from Dirac echoed in his mind. The portal is open. Antimatter is the key. Turing knew he had to act quickly. He gathered his team and explained what had happened. Mary Cartwright and John Cockcroft listened attentively, their faces reflecting a mixture of awe and concern. They decided they had to continue the experiment, but with extreme caution. Over the next few weeks, the team worked tirelessly, analyzing every detail of Dirac's notes and replicating his experiments with precision. They discovered that the quantum portal not only allowed travel between dimensions, but was also related to the creation of antimatter particles. These particles, when interacting with ordinary matter, could generate energy in unimaginable quantities, but could also be extremely unstable. One night, while Turing and his team were conducting a crucial experiment, they observed something extraordinary. In the center of the lab, a sphere of light began to form, pulsing with intense energy. Inside the sphere, they could see flashes of what appeared to be other worlds, parallel dimensions where the laws of physics were different. The sight was both hypnotic and terrifying. Mary Cartwright, with her sharp mathematical perception, noticed patterns in the fluctuation of the light sphere. "It's like it's resonating with something from another dimension," she commented, her eyes glowing with a mix of fear and fascination. John Cockcroft, for his part, focused on the technical aspects, adjusting the equipment to stabilize the sphere and prevent it from spiraling out of control. Meanwhile, Turing immersed himself in Dirac's notes, searching for any clues that could help them understand what they were witnessing. He found references to a quantum nexus, a point of convergence between dimensions that could explain the appearance of the light sphere. According to Dirac, this nexus was extremely unstable and could collapse at any moment, with unpredictable consequences. Just when they thought they were about to solve the mystery, something unexpected happened. A man appeared in the lab, emerging from the light sphere. It was Paul Dirac, but not as they remembered him. His face was marked by fatigue and fear, and his eyes reflected deep and unsettling knowledge. Dirac explained that he had been trapped in a parallel dimension, a place where time and space behaved strangely. Dirac revealed that he had discovered a conspiracy. A group of scientists and government agents, known as the Order of Antimatter, had been manipulating his experiments from the shadows. Their goal was to use the quantum portal to access other dimensions and acquire advanced technologies, regardless of the consequences. Dirac had tried to stop them, but he had been betrayed and sent to a parallel dimension as punishment. The Turing team was stunned by the revelation. Mary, ever the skeptic, asked, "How can we be sure what you're saying is true?" Dirac, with a serious expression, showed them a strange device he had brought with him. "This is a quantum communicator," he explained. "I obtained it in the other dimension. It's proof that what I'm saying is true." Now aware of the danger, Turing and his team decided to confront the Order of Antimatter. Using their knowledge and skills, they managed to stabilize the quantum portal and create a barrier that prevented its misuse. In a final confrontation in the lab, Turing and his team faced the agents of the Order, using antimatter as a weapon. The battle was intense, but they eventually succeeded in deactivating the portal and stopping the conspirators. The confrontation in the laboratory was a controlled chaos. The agents of the Order, led by an enigmatic man known only as the Alchemist, attempted to reactivate the portal using a device that emitted quantum energy pulses. Turing, Mary, and John worked together to counter the attacks, using their knowledge of physics and mathematics to deflect the pulses and protect the lab. At the climax of the battle, Turing confronted the Alchemist. "You don't understand the power you're dealing with," warned Turing. "This isn't just science, it's something much bigger." The Alchemist, with a cold smile, replied, "Power always has a price, Turing, and I'm willing to pay it." With one final effort, Turing managed to deactivate the Alchemist's device, causing a chain reaction that collapsed the quantum portal. The energy released was immense, But thanks to the precautions taken by the team, the lab and its occupants survived. The agents of the Order were arrested, and their plans were dismantled. With the portal closed and the Order dismantled, Dirac and Turing reflected on the implications of their discoveries. They knew that antimatter and quantum portals were powerful tools capable of changing the course of history, but they also understood that they had to be handled with responsibility and ethics. They decided to hide their findings and destroy Dirac's notes to prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. In the years that followed, Turing and Dirac continued their research in other fields, always aware of the power and danger of quantum physics. The Cambridge lab returned to normal, but the shadows of the past events never completely disappeared. In their diaries, both scientists left detailed records of their experiences, hoping that one day, in a distant future, humanity would be ready to understand and handle the mysteries of the quantum universe. The epilogue of their diaries contained a warning: science is a path into the unknown. We must walk carefully, always aware that every discovery brings new questions and new dangers. Quantum physics has shown us a universe full of wonders and mysteries, but it has also reminded us of our own fragility. Let those who follow our footsteps do so with wisdom and humility.
The questions don't end here, nor does our pursuit. If this story unveiled something you never expected to discover, then you're in the right place. Remember to subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this tale with others who, like you, are drawn to the unknown. Here, mystery always finds its voice, until we meet again, where the inexplicable will once again serve as our starting point.